Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. I'm coming to you this week from Ohio. I'm in the Dayton area, traveling cross country on my trip to Oregon. And one of the things I've had a chance to do on this trip is spend a little time with the folks at Henny Penny. Now, you probably know Henny Penny as the company that makes, fryers and rotisseries and things like that for chicken and French fries. Do a lot of work in the supermarket industry as well as in the fast food and quick service industries. And one of the reasons it's been a real pleasure to spend time with them is because we have a lot of discussion on Morning News Beat about things like connections to employees and how companies treat employees. And inevitably, and listen, not everybody agrees with me on this one. I'm always writing about the fact that I think that employees need to be treated like assets, not as liabilities. That you invest your employees, and if you invest in them, they're going to invest back in you most of the time. If you don't just push them and push them and push them and try and milk them for all they're worth, I think that pays back in spades in most cases. Well, I do get emails back every once in a while from people, and not just from one or two people, people who say that I'm a fool, that companies will almost always do their best to, find every loophole to exploit their employees, that it's a company's job to pay them as little as possible. It's a company's job to exploit them as much as possible. And listen, in the end, it's all about being efficient. It's not as much about being effective. It's not about investing in employees. It's about returning money to shareholders and having profits, even at the employee's expense. And I've never thought that that's true. And it's such a thrill to come and talk to the folks at Henny Penny because they don't feel that way either. I mean, they've got a really, really, really strong business. But they've gone through an ESOP, so it's an employee-owned company now. But it's also a company that takes really, really good care of its employees. It doesn't do layoffs just when things are getting tough. They invest in their employees. They invest in education for their employees. They're trying to train people, bring them along, turn them into leaders who can bring the company into the future. And all of that is really, really important. I think that, listen, there's all sorts of reasons you can say a company can't do something or shouldn't do something. But in the end, listen, companies like Henny Penny and virtually any other kind of company, they're only as good as the people who work there. And that's not just a cliche, it's an actual fact. So for those of you who think it can't be done, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. But I think ultimately the companies that do that are going to end up wallowing in their own mediocrity, while the companies that invest in their employees, well, they're going to be something special and they're going to be something sustainable. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.